Today's episode is all about impressing just about anybody. Let's get into it. I'm gonna teach you how to make one of the most popular dishes, if not the most popular dish in the world. And today is all about butter chicken. Now, butter chicken can be a daunting task for you to make at home. That's why I've gone and simplified the recipe as much as I could. First step to making your own homemade from scratch butter chicken recipe is to place some yogurt into a bowl. It's just regular yogurt. Yogurt is a natural tenderizer. Here I have tandoori masala. You can find tandoori masala anywhere. I'm gonna add in probably 2 nice teaspoons of that. Teaspoon of red Kashmiri chili powder. That's gonna help give us that bright red color. I'm gonna add in a good tablespoon of honey. I'm gonna do a squeeze of lemon juice. I'm gonna add some salt into our marinade here. And I'm gonna give this a quick mix here. My marinade is complete, nice consistency. I'm gonna add in my chicken. I have 2 chicken breasts that are organic and they have been sliced into relatively large cubes. So this is gonna go into the bowl and we're gonna give this a nice stir. It's very important that I get every corner of the chicken coated in that mixture. It's critical that this marinates for at least 4 hours. I would recommend overnight. I have one ready from last night, so I'm gonna pop this one in and take the other one out. Okay, so we have our chicken here that's been marinating. This has been overnight. I have a tray lined with parchment paper. So we're gonna lay out our chicken. I'm gonna try and leave back as much of the marinade as I can. Make sure the chicken is evenly spaced out so the heat can circle all around it. And I'm gonna get this into the oven for approximately 15 minutes before I flip it. Okay, so my chicken is in. I have a nice pan here, preheated on a medium heat. This is called butter chicken for a reason. Let's get some butter in the pan. Nice couple cubes here. It's foaming up there a little bit nicely. I'm gonna start by adding one of the most important ingredients into this, which is mace. Mace is the outer shell of the nutmeg. The next spice I'm gonna add is green cardamom, equal parts as to the mace, which is about 1.5 teaspoons. I'm going to add some red Kashmiri chili powder, and then a little 1/2 teaspoon of ginger. Cook out a little bit the raw flavor of these spices. If you burn this mixture, you're gonna have to start over.
Mwah, butter chicken with my good friend Dave Rajkumar, and you're going to be seeing parts 3 and 4 later on. But listen, he is one hot mama in Toronto, big celebrity chef. He works all around. He works all over the globe. So listen, I'm going to introduce my first guest. She is an amateur comedian. And she's very funny. I've seen her many times. She's played the Fringe in many concerts. A big round of applause for Kavita Bhardwaj. How are you, Kavita?
I'm great, yeah.
You happy to be on the show?
Yep, excited.
Can you say something funny? You're a comedian?
I can't think of anything.
What was your, how did you get into comedy then?
Well, it was actually a few years ago. I decided I wanted to, write my own jokes and stuff and go up, and I thought, first of all, I'll do it once. But once I went on the first ever gig, actually was at the Halt Bar. It was actually Chris Henry's night at the Halt Bar. So I went down and it went so well.
That's really Woodlands Road, isn't it?
Woodlands Road, that's right. Yeah, it was my first ever gig. But I went up and 5 minutes of material. I was so nervous that day. Couldn't hold the microphone. I was shaking and sweating. But when you get the audience laughing, just get a buzz. And I thought I'm going to keep doing this until I get bored. So.
Wow. And what's been your worst gig?
Well, one of the worst gigs I can remember was at this bar. It's called the Real McCoy near Celtic Park. Do you know it? Do you know the Real McCoy? Oh. Well, it was actually a charity night, and so I went down, and George Bowie was playing, and the audience there, first of all, I don't think they were there to see the comedy, because the first thing that I thought was, right, the audience were all drunk. They were quite young, but there was families in with their own drink, getting out of their bags. I thought, scrap what you're planning to say, just get up on stage and do what you're doing and just try and keep the audience entertained. But the funniest part was, there was a woman at the window and she was banging the window with her shoe. And I thought, right, okay. That was one of my worst gigs.
Fantastic. So listen, we were going to actually have the show this week on arranged marriage, but we managed to sign up the biggest star in Scotland right now. So we decided to hold it. What do you think of arranged marriage, though? If we had an arranged marriage show, did you have a love marriage, arranged marriage?
No, mine was like a love marriage. No. But I think arranged marriages do work if you get on, and that's it. I think anything.
That's the big one. You've got to get on.
Yeah, you've got to get on. Even relationships, even if it's a love relationship, if you find out after 6 months you've got nothing in common, then you're going to break up. So.
Wow, wow. Right, okay, listen, are you ready? Are you ready, Kavita? Are you excited by our next guest?
Excited.
We obviously haven't seen him. Our technical department's so good that we've hidden this guy away from the very beginning. So, listen, I'm very excited. Yeah, I have to tell you, first of all, this guy's my little cousin. We have to expose that. We grew up together all summer.
You grew up together all summer?
All summer.
Longer than that,
yeah,
mate.
it was.
It was longer than one summer.
We used to play
We've been cousins
badminton.
all our life.
I haven't even introduced the guy. He started already on me. So we used to play table tennis, squash. You know, we used to go swimming at Bishopbriggs Sports Centre. Now you probably know him as a huge star from Still Game as Naveed, and
But you knew me when I was nothing.
Yes.
Yes.
And they've just had an epic run at the Hydro. I'm very proud of him. So we're going to have a little, just to give you a little taster, I think we found a really good video of Sanjeev as Naveed going nuts.
That's a lot of pens. Are you planning on doing a lot of writing? Diary? Memoirs perhaps?
Oh, खुदाया, फिर कितनी गंदी बकवास है।
They're for the quiz and the Klansman.
Ah, the quiz. Oh, I'll be there. Front and centre.
See you there.
Aye, with bells on. Nice girl.
She's battling the Klansman with Bobby. Margot the crier. I might be talking too soon, but I think there'll be a romance there.
Me Bobby? Oh, get the rest, Isa. He couldn't get his hole in a barrel of fannies.
So they're going to the quiz.
Oh, aye. I watch all the quizzes on the telly, especially Weakest Link.
फिर चुदान लगा।
But I do think Anne Robinson's been going a wee bit over the top lately. Too much of the insults. I think it's the fault of this prick Simon Cowell from the Pop Idol, slagging everybody. I think she's under pressure to up the stakes. There was this guy on. Nice guy. Quiet, you know. He was a constable. Do you know what she called him? PC Plod. PC Plod. That's too much. There's no need. Gets on my tits. For months I've been phoning to get on that show. Put her bloody gas at a peep. Say for instance I got a question about numbers. Then she might say to me, "Oh, I hope you don't count your tell receipts the way you answered that last question." Then the ball would be up on the slates. Then I would say to her, "Who do you think you're talking to, huh? You ginger bitch. I've been in the business 25 years. I'm up at 6:30 every morning. What time do you get out of your bag, huh? You lazy cow. No, you're way out of your depth here. You should stuck to watchdog, you Botox-faced bastard."
I think you should maybe lay off that weakest link for a while, Naveed.
और कुछ नहीं तो सीक्रेट स्टार नु सुनो।
Oh! It's Sanjeev Kohli! Yeehaw! Mwah!
Let's have no kissing.
How are you, Sanjeev?
I'm good, yes. Very good, yes.
I've been trying to get you in the show since the beginning. We've only done 3 episodes.
3 episodes. You didn't try that hard. And I'm here, to be fair.
He's here, Sanjeev Kohli's here. So look, you grew up in Bishopbriggs.
Yes.
How was that?
It was all right. It was kind of, they call it Spam Valley, don't they? It's a safe place to grow up, but it's
Not the same as Shit Valley, which was the...
No, that's a brand of chicken. The Spam Valley, it was all right. It was a safe place to grow up. It was kind of, there wasn't a huge amount going on, but it was you know, we played football in an actual field down the road and cricket. Here's the thing. Here's my gripe about Glasgow, right? When we first moved, my family first moved up from London, because basically my mum and dad they got married. And you said, you know, arranged marriage. It was an arranged marriage because lunch was at 2:00 and dancing was at 5. And then, so they settled in London first of all, and then Dad got a job in Glasgow, so we moved up to Glasgow. So we stayed in.
Your dad was a teacher, wasn't he?
Yes. Yeah. So he trained at Dundee Teacher Training College, bizarrely, and then he got his first gig in Glasgow. So then we moved to the West End. So we stayed in wee flats in the West End, and then we moved to Bishopbriggs. But my school was in the south side, so I was going to school in like Battlefield or Langside, and then went to Langside College. So I know the West End and I know the south side pretty well. I don't know the East End so much, but my gripe with Glasgow is that it's got a south side, it's got a West End, it's got an East End, north, nothing. It's almost like the north of Glasgow isn't interesting enough to be given a noun. You don't talk about the North End or the North Side, it's just the north, like Game of Thrones.
Yeah, true, yeah.
And that's kind of what Bishopbriggs. Well, we wouldn't have White Walkers in Lindsay or anything, but Bishopbriggs was a bit. It was all right, but it wasn't that exciting.
And you went to school at St. Al's. St. Aloysius, ladies and gentlemen. So you went to St. Aloysius?
I went to a fee-paying Catholic
Yeah.
school for reasons best known to my parents.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think they just heard that it was it had good discipline, and I was quite academic, so I was quite a good fit for that kind of school because I was, well, as you will know or do know, I was incredibly quiet and studious and head down, arse up, did the work, got the exams. So the school like that was kind of good for me. Doesn't suit everyone, but.
But you studied very, very hard.
I did, but then I didn't have any friends. I mean, that's why we were so close. I didn't have any friends of my own. So I just used to tag along.
Everybody loved Sanjeev when he was a baby.
And this is true though, because there was 5 of us growing up, 5 boys that summer, and so there was you and your brother, me, my 2 brothers, 5 boys, and we played tennis, and you'd always make me the ball boy. So I was like the spare one.
Not now.
And the youngest one.
Not now, because you're much better than me at tennis
go get that
now.
ball. I'll time you. Sort of thing. And I fell for it every time. But that was fun though. That was good. And yeah, you are right. I do beat you at tennis, but not squash.
No. I have to beat you something. I have to beat you something. What school did you go to, Kavita?
I went to primary or secondary.
Well, primary and secondary.
Woodside Secondary and Willowbank Primary. But
Woodside? Nobody's been at Woodside.
now it's a Gaelic school, I think.
Yeah.
But it was a good school.
Yeah.
Of course, pronounced the Woodside and the Willowbank.
That's right, Willowbank.
yeah.
That's what
I went to Willowbank.
Willowbank, yep.
Because Woodside had an eclectic mix of people, didn't it?
Yeah, that's why I quite liked it. You know, it was just a big mix. 'Cause before that, when I was really young, we stayed in Postal Park, but that was when I was very young, and then we moved, and I noticed a big difference. There was other Asians, you know, in the school, but quite liked it.
Because I had the same problem when I, and you know it's all about me in this show. When I was young, we first arrived in, I'm an African immigrant, and we arrived in Scotland because we followed Sanjeev's dad, who's my mum's older brother, Padumman uncle.
True story.
And so we came to Scotland, I think, in 1978, and we moved to a place called Green Hills.
East Kilbride.
East Kilbride. East Kilbride.
EK bus.
Anyway, East Kilbride was very odd because there was hardly any Asians in East Kilbride, and walking to school for me was like a scene out of Planet of the Apes. Ah, what's that? What's that, mummy? And I actually remember, this is a true story, some little kid wanted to eat me in a shop because they thought I was made of chocolate. But that's a true story. And unfortunately what happened was, and this is a very much a true story, you know when you go to school and you're doing xylophone lessons and all that sort of stuff. So I just arrived in Green Hills Primary, and the teacher said, "Children, there's a new boy in the class, Yajnas Sajmadju." And they could never get my name right. And he's going to come to the front and play the xylophone. So I'd come to the front, and you could see everyone going, what? A brown guy. And because you're all inbred in East Kilbride. I'm joking. And so I got to the front, and there was xylophone lessons. And the teacher, Sanjay, you hit the green balls, and as you do in Green Hills and East Kilbride, and it's the number 1 single of the day. And guess what the number 1 single was? There's a brown girl in the ring. And so the whole class started to sing, "There's a brown boy in the class, tra-la-la-la-la." And you know when you've got that, what do you call those plasticine puppets? Wallace and Gromit. I had that smile on me. That was an awkward moment, and it's a real conversation killer at parties when I meet somebody from East Kilbride. So Sanj, remember we used to play squash. We had brilliant summers, didn't we?
No,
and then we got old.
We
got jobs and all that stuff.
I know. But we're back on, aren't we? Playing
yes.
tennis and squash. Yeah,
we play squash and tennis every couple of weeks.
Yeah.
Up at a local club at the Westin. Big up the Westin. Make sure I get the Wimbledon draws coming at the Westin.
Oh, you went last year, didn't you?
No, I went to Wimbledon last year,
Yeah.
but I missed the draw. I went for my wife's birthday, but I actually had to pay humongous amount of money for tickets because I didn't get into the draw at Weston Tennis Club.
What did you have to pay for tickets?
Ooh, it was a lot of money.
It was a lot of money. No.
It was a lot of money.
But did you get on the centre court?
Thousands of pounds. It was centre court, but the worst thing was last year what happened on centre court. Djokovic was on.
Oh.
Federer was on.
Singing?
No. That was about 15 years ago.
Is that your
I think we need time travel Kavita back into the show. Was Cliff Richard singing? What happened last year on Centre Court Wimbledon was fabulous. My wife and I, we were celebrating her birthday. I got her tickets for Wimbledon, and I was a very, very, very good husband. We got there. Federer comes on, and the game stops after 6 games because the other guy, what's the other guy? His opponent decides to retire. His opponent retires. Djokovic then comes on, and we're like giving it, Djokovic! And his opponent retires after 6 games. So that was rubbish.
So you're a jinx, basically.
Yes.
And you probably won't be allowed back into
Yeah.
Wimbledon.
I'm not going back. No, I am actually. If I win the tickets, I'll go back. But, by the way, this guy's a very, very good tennis. You play any sports? He's a good tennis player. He's beat me.
all right, I'm
you
all
beat
right.
me the last 3 games, which is ridiculous because I used to
Yeah,
consistently beat you.
Yeah, but
You had a bit of training, didn't you?
a bit of training, what rifle shooting? that's why you're not good at tennis. If that's how you're going to racket at.
Yeah. I've noticed you'll be a little bit more aggressive at tennis.
No, that was always my problem. I
Yeah,
lack
you're
aggression.
jumping up every time you won a point.
I wasn't. I was waving at a fan. Out of the corner of my eye.
Do you play anything, Kavita?
Not really, no.
No?
I used to play badminton quite a lot.
Right. Were you any good?
I was actually quite good.
Right.
I don't know if snooker's a sport, but I can play
Snooker is
no.
classed as a pastime, isn't it? Well, it's a weird one because, how do they actually define a sport? Because curling's a sport, isn't it? But darts isn't a sport. So, at what point do you cross a line from curling to darts? And then Scrabble's clearly not a sport, right? So Scrabble's here, right? So curling's here. So at some point in that spectrum, pastime becomes sport. I'm not saying I have the answer. Okay. I'm just putting it out there.
So snooker, is that a sport?
Snooker,
Yeah.
I think maybe dances on either side. But the thing is, remember Bill Werbenick, the Canadian snooker player?
Yeah.
He had a condition where he had to drink lager, like 30 pints, and he was like the wee barrel.
What about that wee Scottish guy, Jock, with the darts
Jockey
player?
Wilson, yeah.
Jockey Wilson.
And yet, though, if you play a session of darts, I mean, that's quite a shift.
Yeah.
So what I mean, this would have been rock hard, but the rest was just blah, blah, hard.
I have this theory that with curling, a friend of mine, another friend, I've forgotten her name. Is it Alison? Alison presents the curling.
Alison, yes.
Can't remember.
Walker.
Alison Walker, yeah. She presents the curling, and I once said to her, I said, Alison, I reckon if I did curling for 6 weeks, 6 hours a day, I could win gold at the Olympics.
Yeah.
That's how easy curling is.
I met my wife during the curling game.
Did you?
Yeah, swept off her feet. I just thought of that.
And Kavita's a comedian. You're supposed to be coming up with stuff like that. But and Sanj, what else are you? You keep busy. River City. How's that going?
Well, I just came from filming that now, so I've been in that for 2.5 years now.
He's good at River City, isn't he? Ladies and gentlemen, round of applause. He's very good.
It's all right. I mean, they haven't fired me yet, so that surprises me because what they do is they film it in 3-month blocks. So we'll film from August to November, and then so that's kind of like autumn kind of session, and then we'll do February to May. And they keep renewing your contract for every block. So I keep thinking at the end of the block, right, they'll bill it me now. But this is my 5th one now.
Yeah.
So I think they like me. I don't know if it's because I tick some boxes,
Yeah. But can't you just go, yeah, bugger off, man, I'm doing still game.
Basically,
River City?
I try to do, I like to keep my work varied. And to be honest, in this business, in a slightly more serious point, I mean, regular work is an absolute godsend. So if I can just keep as many plates spinning as I can.
Because you've got your BBC play as well.
I've got a Radio 4 comedy
Radio
as
4.
well. But radio,
He's a clever boy.
Radio, which I adore, unfortunately doesn't pay brilliantly. I mean, if you do it every week of the year, yes, that's fine. But that Fags, Mags and Bags is a Radio 4 comedy that I write and I star in.
So it's called Fags, Mags and Bags.
Mags and Bags.
Is it still on now?
We're writing the 8th series now, which I think goes out on Radio 4 in
8
September.
series. Yeah.
I play another shopkeeper, so I embrace thoroughly the whole. I love shops. I think it's something to be celebrated. I think that basically shopkeepers, the majority of whom are Asian, are running the economy through the sale of slightly out of date Maltesers.
But do you know,
to be celebrated.
Do you know, I was talking to somebody the other day who's another comedian that happens to be a lady, and she was doing character comedy. And I went to see her, and she was very good, very good. But do you not think that we're always under pressure as Asians to do character comedy, and you have to have a funny accent, you have to have a shop, and Well,
no, I think I think the generation of stand-ups now don't feel that pressure because they can legitimately claim that I have this theory that our parents' generation have that metaphorical unopened suitcase and sometimes an actual one on top of the wardrobe where they maybe one day harboured the idea that they would go back to wherever it is, Kenya or India, whatever.
Yeah.
And then we're the generation that were born here. We kind of fought the fight. We were the ones that, Brown Girl in the Ring, and me getting called Little Black Sambo in the street and saying, well, at least call me Packy, at least be, ethically correct about it if you're gonna slag me. So we went through that, and then the next generation again are like, well, no, we very legitimately can, say that we're Scottish and British amongst other things. So, there are younger Asian stand-ups that aren't feeling that pressure, but equally they still have a richer culture to draw on, from their parents' generation, so they can play all the notes. And I think they do.
Yeah, I think the younger generation have got really stupid haircuts these days.
Yeah.
Have you seen them?
But
it goes like that.
That's the point of younger generation.
And they think
that's
they're cool.
what they're there for.
Yeah.
I mean, do you think of your haircuts?
Yeah.
Remember you rocking that Bon Jovi thing? Remember you just... Yeah.
Oh, your love is like bad medicine. Bad medicine is what I need. Oh.
Bad Barbary. If that's a word, it's not. But yeah.
You had long hair. Remember you had a...
I don't deny it.
Yeah.
That's, you got to express yourself.
You had a Def Leppard cut in your day.
Leppard. No, it wasn't
Was
Def
it Ian
Leppard.
Gillan?
It wasn't. It was more Ian Gillan because it's more one length.
Smoke on the water.
A fire in the sky. Song for everything. Def Leppard are kind of back, aren't they? They're sort of
They played the Hydro at Christmas.
Yeah, did you see that?
No, they're playing this Christmas.
Yeah.
I'm going to go and see them. I saw them.
Album, I think they're going to be playing.
From start to finish.
I saw Def Leppard. Did you come to Playhouse with me?
Will I? Or
Did you come to Playhouse?
No.
I went with your brother. I think we went to the Def Leppard concert.
Oh, was this in the first time round?
86 or 87, I think it was.
So
Remember Animal came out?
Yeah.
And I want, and I need, and I love, animal.
And then your mum would sing it.
And I want, and I need, and I love, animal. That's my mum singing Animal. Def Leppard.
Did I send you that picture? There's a shop on Great Western Road called Annie Mo's.
Yeah, Animals.
And I want, and I need any Mo's.
We do funny things to our parents. We get them to sing rock songs.
I know.
And they don't know what they... My mum has no idea. In fact, I got my mum to sing Last Christmas. With
I saw that. I know.
Last Christmas, I gave you my heart.
But the very next day, you gave it away. This year, you sent me shut up.
Switch it on. Really don't put it on Facebook.
And she's like, put it on Facebook.
And my mum told, don't put it on Facebook.
What did you do?
I put it on Facebook.
Your mum's got a great
Bless.
voice,
She's all right, my mum. She's coming on. She was actually supposed to be guest today.
Really? What?
I had no guest. No. I kicked her off. She didn't mind. I just gave her an apple.
Mum said to me recently, do you have that YouTube? Can everyone get
We'll get your mum on as well. That's what we'll do.
the mums?
I remember a time when we were growing up that you got into rap and
oh God, I got into hip hop in a big way.
Yeah.
I remember being in the car going to school, and it was Mike Smith that was the Radio 1 DJ at the morning show at the time, and he played Bring the Noise by Public Enemy.
Lucky it wasn't Jimmy Savile.
He never did the morning show, thankfully. I thought, what is that noise? I like that. It was like really, really like it was like a Dundee cake. It was really dense sound. I really liked it. And then I got into hip hop in about 87, 88, and then because of all the samples that they used, it was all like soul and funk and R&B. I got into James Brown and Parliament Funkadelic, and so I kind of left rock behind a wee bit. When I was at uni, I got into dance music at uni because that was when house music was. Remember House Bhangra?
Yeah. Pump up the Bhangra, pump up the Bhangra.
First there was house music, then there was acid house, and now it's House Bhangra. It didn't quite take off, did it? I got into dance music sort of late 80s, early 90s, and kind of got lost down that well for a bit. But I came back when Nirvana, Nevermind came out, and then I kind of rediscovered rock, and Guns N' Roses were kicking about as well at that time. But I know I like to think that, we've always been into music, haven't we? I think it's kind of part of when you are second generation immigrant and you don't, the music you hear in the house would be like shabbads or Bollywood songs. You're not going to listen to your mum and dad's Beatles or MC5 or Led Zeppelin. So you discover those things yourself. So in my house, it was Raj, my eldest brother, his friend at school, his dad got them into Deep Purple. So I was into heavy metal when I was 10 because my eldest brother was into it. So I'm into a band that split up when I was 5.
Yeah.
So it was very deeply unfashionable. Because I remember when so the school I went to, St. Aloysius, had been an all boys school, right? So I was there primary 4, all boys, primary 5, all boys, primary 6, all boys, primary 7. they decided to parachute these girls in. So it was like
Right.
12 of them, right?
Right.
And it was 1981 was the year. So I remember, like, we were just all boys that wanted to play football at break, but these girls arrived, and suddenly the guys are growing their hair out, and they got a
Girls,
they're carrying the bag in a certain way as well, because I mean, cool. And there was this thing about bringing your album into school. Remember albums? Remember vinyl?
Yeah.
So I remember that the trendy guys are bringing in their Duran Duran album.
Yeah.
or their-
Ta-na-na-na, ta-na-na-na, to fluff, 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 flex.
You're about as easy as a nuclear war.
You.
Yeah, you know that
right.
Simon Le Bon had a fist fight with Lionel Richie once
Did
because
he?
they were arguing what's easier, a nuclear war or Sunday morning.
Right.
So one guy brings in his Duran Duran album, and then one guy brings in his Human League album. About 2 full weeks later, I bring in a Gillan album. I tell you, none of the girls were interested in the Gillan album. And then the thing is, I got the thing dog eared because I put it in my bag, and Randy nearly killed me.
Right.
So very unfashionable.
Was that New Orleans? Come on, everybody, take a trip with me.
It was Double Trouble was the album. Yes.
Right.
So I still got very fond memories of kind of 80s rock, and I still enjoy the music of Deep Purple and Led Zeppelin.
Deep Purple are excellent.
Oh, yeah.
Excellent.
Underrated, I would say.
We're going to now go to a video. So we're going to go to part two. Part two, we're going to come back with our lovely guest. We're going to go part two of Dave and his storming butter chicken.
Peace.
Now is a good time to add my diced onions. Hearing a nice little sizzle, that's great. Onions are an optional, but the onions I find add a nice sweetness to this dish, which counters the acidity that's in the tomatoes. So my onions have been cooking for approximately a couple minutes. We're getting some nice sediment at the bottom, and we're gonna deglaze with tomatoes. But first, we're going to add in our garlic, our ginger, and our green chili. Boom, we're going nuts today, okay? We want big flavor here, so let's do that. So into the pan, I'm gonna add in a good half cup of cashews. Cashews will give us a nice nuttiness, but it's also gonna help our sauce have a nice consistency. Cashews have been cooking off for a couple minutes here. I have a beautiful color. Everything is cooked out. The rawness of the ginger and the garlic, the onion, that's all gone. We're left with a beautiful fragrant smell. Give that a shake. Now is a good time to deglaze. What we're gonna do is add in all our chopped tomato here. Just like that, over 2 cups of chopped tomato with a little bit of water. I'm gonna simmer this mixture for approximately 10 minutes or so. We are going to blend it in a blender and return it back to a clean pan to finish this off. It's also a good time now to take a look at our chicken. It's just starting to get some color, so I'm gonna pull it out, give it a flip, and return it back into the oven. Now that my mixture in the pan has been cooking for about 10-12 minutes, the cashews have slightly softened. So I just know by looking at this, you can see how the spoon's moving through it, that we're gonna have a nice sauce. I'm gonna add in a little bit of tomato paste. This is gonna give you a nice depth of tomato flavor. Arguably the most important ingredient in this is the kasuri methi, which is fenugreek. The way to get the flavor out of these before you put them in is classically to rub them in between your hands into a powder. Boom. That's gonna give you the essence of the butter chicken. The chicken is cooked, it's time to get this out. And I'm gonna lay that out to rest. And we're gonna put that into the pan together after we puree this mixture. So here's our chicken. I'm gonna place this aside. Smells intoxicating, I love it. It's now time to blend our sauce. You can see how it's nice and watery, but not too watery. And let's get this mixture into our blender. Butter chicken. So I have all of our mixture into our Vitamix. This should never be more than 3/4 full. This is the max I would fill this guy up ever. The cap is removed here. That'll allow the steam to escape. So I have a rag that I'm putting on top just to be safe. I'm gonna turn it on low and gradually increase the speed. Okay guys, so I've been blending my butter chicken mixture for approximately 45 seconds or so. Depending on the type of blender that you're using at home, if you're using a hand blender, you're definitely gonna wanna strain this mixture into your pan just to get any bits of anything that might be in there. My favorite part, it's time to strain my sauce into the pan. And again, this is how you're gonna get a super smooth consistency. I'm just gonna scrape the bottom of the strainer. Guys, this takes a few minutes to strain your mixture through the strainer, but you're trying to impress the hell out of someone. By getting rid of all these impurities, we're gonna have a silky, smooth butter chicken sauce, and that's exactly what we want. Of course, it's butter chicken. We're gonna add more butter, a little bit of honey, and it's now time to just give this a quick stir. Now add our chicken. Now is
Butter chicken, butter. Did you like the bit he did that with the kasuri methi?
I wanted him to leave the cloth off the top of the mixer so that his kitchen looked like a murder scene. Also, does that happen when you become a celebrity chef that you just get sound effects in your kitchen? When you put a bowl in your fridge,
It goes. Ksh.
even when you put the bowl in the fridge, Jackie Chan sound effects.
I'm dying to see how that ends. That butter. I had a butter chicken last night.
Yeah?
Yep, I had a butter chicken. I took a friend out last night. We went to some random restaurant somewhere. Had a butter chicken.
I think butter chicken is something you can get wrong quite easily. I've had some duff butter chickens, but when you get it right,
What do you cook? What?
I don't know. No, I'm not. Have I? I think for me, I know he said that the methi was important, but for me, the big old cardamom's important as well.
Oh yes. Yeah.
Make sure you take
Green
them out
cardamom.
first.
Yeah.
Yes.
Do you cook, Kavita?
I hated cardamoms as a kid.
I can cook.
Yeah.
It's horrible when you bite into a card. It's
Hold on,
disgusting,
we need to
isn't
take them out,
it?
We need to take them out.
Sometimes when my mum cooks something, and I just bite into this black cardamom, it just spoils everything, doesn't it?
They feel like rats, don't they?
Yeah.
The big ones.
Yeah.
The wee ones, not so much.
Yeah.
But I used to hate, for that reason, because it was like a lottery when you ate a curry. I hated cardamoms as a kid, but as an adult, love them.
I used to have this really good chef who was quite good. You know, when people would say, "What's this thing?" It's a beetle. It's some insect in our curry, and then he would say, "No, it's not an insect. It's a cardamom." And then the funny thing was, when it was an insect, he would just say it was a cardamom. Did I get that right in the right order? Did I say something wrong there?
I think you did. Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
It just wasn't.
So you can say to somebody, I was at a restaurant once, this true story this. Friends of us, we all went out to a restaurant out near Loch Lomond. I'm not going to say which restaurant it is.
No,
Might
more or less
might get
saying
sued. Might get sued. But a huge caterpillar walked out of the salad. And when that happened, we said, what the hell is this? I mean, I could have handled the fact, look, I'm really sorry, we didn't wash the salad properly, and a little discount, or it was like a cup of tea. But he took it away, and he came back and he said, oh no, it was an asparagus. All right, I said, okay, we'll give it back. And he said, no, the chef's eaten it. That's a true story, that.
Well, so he was banking on the fact that you wouldn't know what an asparagus was.
Yeah.
And
it was a walking asparagus.
Exactly,
Like that.
walking asparagus. Yeah.
You know when you get the centipedes walk like that, like 100 legs like that? It wasn't like just a normal little one, it was like one of them.
I do enjoy a walking asparagus. It's my favourite kind.
Yeah.
Unbelievable.
No, there was a great story, I think I told you this as we come to the car. You stalked Prince.
I did stalk Prince.
So tell us about that story.
He's the only human.
Prince,
He's the only person I've
I'm
ever
going down to Alphabet Street.
I'd seen. Well, I've always been a little bit obsessed with Prince. I think a unique artist, and loved him in the '80s. Still do, and went to see him at the best gig I've ever been to. See, I always get mixed up. Was it Parkhead or Hampden? Anyway, it was '92, and it was the wasn't Love Sexy tour. It was the next one, the Sexy MF tour. Brilliant gig. The thing was that our good friend Shabina. Massive Prince fan.
Shabina!
Who used to
Shabina!
used to sign like things in purple.
Yeah.
And she used to say, I don't go out with boys because I'm saving myself for Prince. Genuinely. Massive Prince fan. So she had queued from something like 5 in the morning for this gig, right? And then we, of course, like arrived at about 11 in the morning, and then we got to the front. Sorry, stepping over people like that, swearing at us. So we got to the front of the gig. And it was truly amazing. Sabina had actually managed to get a purple tulip and took it with her.
Wow.
And in my memory, unless I'm making it up, I think I lobbed it on stage for her. Now this is the true bit. Prince picked it up, and he sang "Nothing Compares to You," holding Shabina's purple tulip, and that's not a euphemism. The actual purple tulip.
Oh wow.
And so it was. And at the end of the gig, we were like, it was like a religious experience. And so we were right at the front, and so that chicken wire bit at the front of the the stage, the equipment, chicken wire. We're here. The tour manager guy came over, and he spotted one of the younger, more attractive female members of our 20-strong kind of crew, and he said the band will be at the Marriott. So he doesn't know that 20 of us, mostly guys, are going to rock up at the Marriott.
Wow.
Now the thing is, Prince wasn't there, but all the other band were there. And the keyboard player, a lovely guy called Tommy Barbarella, he liked long hair, and he liked chains and lace and stuff. Bizarrely, we all ended up at the Volcano nightclub. It's not like
I've got to remember that, Volcano.
Now the Volcano that night, we're doing a Prince night, and the new Power Generation were there.
Wow.
So, picture the scene, Shabina and Tommy Barbarella eating a hot dog from that Samuel
Right.
Sid's van that used to be outside it, right?
So,
And we're chatting away. He's a lovely guy. He's chatting away. And Levi Cisa, who was the guitar player with the band, and he had like a hat with a playing card in it. He just looked brilliant. Great,
Yeah.
like really, really suave guy. He's cutting about. And then, so chat, and then Levi Cisa's getting quite agitated, quite irritated about something. And Tommy says, yeah, like, wow, Levi's getting quite agitated. I better go and see what's wrong with him. So he goes away and comes back and says, yeah, like, so I think Levi took a liking to one of your friends, but found out she was like 15. So he basically, to his credit, says, she's 15 years old, kill me. So he backed away and got really kind of angry about it. So that was that was the gig, right? So a full year later, me and my mate Arif, you know Arif, we're touring around the States. So I had three things that I definitely wanted to do. One was to go to Graceland. One was to try and see Al Green preaching, which is another story, a very long story. And one was to go to Paisley Park. So we got to Minneapolis.
yeah.
We stayed with family friends.
Paisley Park being Prince's home and house.
Studio, and
It's not in Paisley.
it's not in Paisley. That you're thinking of Fergusley Park, which Prince has never been. He's never run with the Figgy Park young team, sadly. So we just went to Minneapolis, and we just very naively got a hire car and just went looking for Paisley Park and found it. And the thing is, there was no actual security. We just drove in this throbbing red Toyota Corolla and just went into the car park. And it was kind of like an industrial estate with this recording studio in it. So we just sort of, me and Art just sat in the car and thought, well, should we just sit here till we get thrown out? And we did. And then we saw a car, it was like a mustard yellow Corvette. I thought, well, that's got to be Prince's car.
Right.
So he's in there, but we're not going to try and get in. We're just going to sit and lurk and stalk. and then about an hour later, a 4x4 comes in, and it's the new Power Generation. It's his band.
Wow.
So you got the drummer, Tony Tubbs, if that was his name. I'm pretty sure Rosie Gaines, the singer, who had her own hit with Close Than Close, she was there. Tommy Barbarella, like, wow, he was there. And Levi Cisa, the guitarist, he was there. So I said, that's the guy. So they walk to go into the recording studio bit, right? And we sort of jump out. And I don't really know what to say, so I kind of panic and I go, Tommy, like this. And he turned around and he went, Glasgow?
Wow.
And so he comes over.
Yeah.
Like, what are you guys doing here? I said, well, we're fans, so we were in the neighbourhood. Got 3 planes to get here. We're in the neighbourhood. We thought we'd just check it out, Prince fans, and we like.
You're talking to Prince's band here.
Yeah.
Right.
So he's wow, like you came all the way here, like wow. And then so Levi Cisa had walked on. So Tommy Barbarella shouts after him, says, Levi, Glasgow. And without missing a beat or even turning around, Levi Cisa said, she was 15 years old, and he walked in.
That's a great story.
Never got to see Prince, unfortunately.
Yeah, Prince. I mean, God bless him.
I was probably
he was
50 yards from him.
Genius.
Oh, he was
genius.
Unique. I mean, he was the full ticket.
Yeah.
All he lacked was a bit of height. That was it.
Yeah.
And sadly, that's probably what killed him because he died
jumping off
the painkillers.
Yeah. Oh, he's.
So
it's sad, man.
But
it's sad.
If you think one of the best dancers in the world, one of the best songwriters in the world, one of the best guitarists, have you seen this clip? Have you seen the clip of him playing
George Harrison?
The Hall of Fame thing. Oh my God!
My guitar gently weeps.
Yeah, plays the piano, plays the drums, plays the he plays the dole.
Yeah. Imagine playing tabla.
Yeah.
Prince plays the tabla as well.
His version of Pabiani. He probably could.
Wow.
Play the
That's a great story, isn't it?
So yeah, I've told that story many times.
Sanjeev Kohli has stalked Prince at Paisley Park.
And you know, I longed for the day that Prince would stalk me. I thought maybe Prince was a Still Game fan, maybe.
Yeah.
Just, I like the guy with the beard. I like the way he has a Glasgow Asian accent.
Yeah.
I call it Glaswegian. And then imagine he came to Glasgow and hired a car.
Yeah.
I sat outside my house. I said, Prince, you're scaring everybody, can you bugger off? On your way, wee man. I wouldn't do that.
That was a brilliant story. Right, we're going to do shout-outs. Right, okay, Lauren Shabana, you're at the airport.
Which airport?
We love you. I think they're in Spain.
Oh, okay.
And big fan of yours. Mrs. Who's that?
Joanne Pollock.
Joanne
Pollock.
You've always been a big fan. I know you keep saying yes.
Oh, good. Is your
huge
name
fan. She loves you.
Could you get a kick in the Joannes? Deepak Bully?
Yeah. Deepak, the employment lawyer. No, the visa lawyer.
Visa lawyer.
Hurry, Cynthia. I'm really busy. I've got lots of things to do.
I might need you soon, because my paperwork's out of date. Paul Hendry.
Paul Hendry.
Paul,
Paul from East Kilbride.
Okay.
Hendry Sub.
And Claire. Claire G tuning in from Sydney. Now,
Sydney. Claire, you're watching from Sydney.
Claire G, is that a
God
hip-hop
bless
name?
you. Yeah, what does G mean? Claire G from Sydney.
Start.
Sydney, Australia.
So you're truly international, as your opening credits would imply.
What is going on with the Australian bloody cricket team?
Well,
Australian cricket team tampering with the ball.
it does make you wonder how widespread it is, and if, is it just that they got caught, or what the kind of pressure they're under to win? 'Cause
They caught the guy putting sugar. Did you watch the video?
I saw it,
He's
yeah.
putting sugar in his pocket. And he's
Right.
the Australian cricket team.
Yeah.
They're supposed to be the best cricket team in the world. Or generally Australians are always good. But they were caught. The guy was filming him putting sugar in his pocket to tamper with the ball.
I saw you putting parcel tape on the tennis balls when we were playing.
Yeah.
I let it go.
I had to win.
I turned the blind eye.
It didn't work.
It didn't work.
Have you got any who's your shout outs? We've got Paul already, so we got Leslie.
Leslie McGregor. Woo!
Sonia Axie did a great show last night. It was fabulous. We love your show, Sonia. Great. You look great on TV. And you're a good, wholesome lady as well. Ambreen. Sorry.
Ambreen. Okay.
Who's that?
Mumta Yadav.
Mamta Yadav. Mamta Yadav used to be our Glasgow Arts head of music.
Yes.
A wonderful lady, Mamta Yadav is. And still very good friends with me on Facebook. Loves all my Beatles songs. She loves you, yeah, 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 yeah. Anyway, we're going to go on to now part 3. I think we're going to go on. Are we going to go on to hello? Are we going to do part 2 of Dave? Have we done part 2 of Dave? Are we going to go into Prince? Oh yeah, we just do a bit of Prince then.
Oh.
Is it Prince?
Was the Prince?
Let's have a bit of Prince. Let's do Prince. I'm going down to Alphabet Street. Dig, if you will, a picture of you and I engaged in a kiss. The sweat of the body covers me. Can you, my darling, can you picture this?
If you can, a courtyard.
In oceans of violets and blue. Come on.
Animals
strike serious poses.
They feel the heat.
The heat between me and you.
Who needs
Oh,
Prince when you
Prince.
got us?
God bless you, Prince. We love you. We love you. Listen, unfortunately, we've got to lose one of our guests. And so she's got to go and pick up his beautiful daughter. She's up the road playing, is she playing basketball,
playing
netball or
netball,
something
she's
like
playing
that?
netball. That's rock and roll.
So,
Pick up my daughter
listen,
playing netball.
Sanj, honestly, we are humbled. I know you're my cousin and you're just going to say you'd have done it anyway, but you're a popular guy now. Popular guy. I am very proud of this guy. Absolutely, when we grew up as kids, you never would have thought that this kid who was just quiet, very unassuming, would study very hard, get all A's in his exams, would turn out to be this legend celebrity of Glasgow and
Haven't
Scotland
used-
and the
haven't
world.
used one of my hires.
The
Not
world.
one.
Yeah, you've not got an E. You don't even know what a bee is.
I know that's why I can't be a beekeeper.
Yeah,
I
you
wouldn't
can't be a
recognise a bee.
beekeeper. Doesn't do bees. So listen, goodbye. Thanks. We're going to say goodbye to Sanjeev Kohli. Thanks for having us. We're going to finish off with I think you do this samosa.
Oh,
Tia
to a samosa.
Tia samosa. We're going to
Oh, to
finish
a
off with
samosa,
her.
yes.
But you're not going to see when he comes back, all right? So all the best. We love you.
Peace out, stay brown.
Love and peace, Sanjeev Kohli. Our technical team's brilliant. Kavita, you're looking good. Are we going to have the video now?
Excellent. So, ladies and gentlemen, Sanjeev Kohli, right here. So, have you ever come across the Hook-Magandhi term?
Hook-Magandhi, yeah, you know those sticks that parkies have to pick up litter?
Yes.
With the wee thing in the end. Mahatma Gandhi invented that. And it was called the Hook-Magandhi 2000 and got lost in the mist of time.
Because you see, I think the problem with Burns is that people try and understand the words when actually you should just sort of see what it makes you feel like. I mean, there's a line in Address to the Deal which goes, "Spairges about the Brunston cootie." Now, I don't know what a Brunston cootie is, and I've certainly never been spairged, but I think the Brunston cootie isn't a nice place, and spairges unpleasant.
Well, you just saying that makes me feel violated.
Exactly. Exactly. Now, tell me, what does Burns mean to you?
Well, I think for a lot of us, a lot of people of my generation, Burns was force-fed to you at school. And you know, like what it's like at school. If you're told to like something, you don't like it. You know, I mean, who likes maths?
Yes.
Not even boredom likes maths. I mean, that's all a lie. You have to revisit Burns, I think, sort of your own volition. And I've done that quite recently. And I hadn't realised how good he was at taking the perspective of really giving a voice, actually, to the voiceless. You know, when you read something like, you know, Ode to a Mouse, Ode to a Louse, you could even take the perspective of a female, and probably most impressively of all, he actually managed to empathise with the plight of black slaves in America. Now, that was The Slave's Lament, which possibly is my favourite Burns work. Now, when you think of how monocultural Scotland was at the time, I mean, that's actually quite amazing that he was able to transplant himself into someone else's being, and I think that's why I've come to like him so much.
Right, great. And tell me, what are you going to do for us tonight?
Well, in the spirit of a multicultural Scotland, I think I've got a real bugbear about Burns suppers. They've been completely impervious to change over the years, and I think Burns would be someone who would actually celebrate change, would celebrate multiculturalism. So, as a kind of homage, if you will, to Burns, although somehow some McGonagall's crept in, I am going to perform my version of Burns, and I do apologise to any living descendants of Burns, or anyone with two functioning ears. But what I'm going to perform is an ode to a samosa, if you'll let me.
Oh, I hope you will. Sanjeev Kohli, ladies and gentlemen.
We sleek it, cowering, triangular, tasty. Oh, what a picnic is in thy pastry. Breathes there a man who can resist thy easy demeanour, especially when it does consist of peas and keema. That's mince. Keema, I mean not this. What wonders lie inside thy parcel? Why do I hide thy tasty morsels? Do you find our lustful bites so crude and hasty, that thou should hide thy very delights in a flaky pastry? Surrender thy charms, tarry no more. Give me the key to thy forbidden door. It was you, after all, who unlocked my sorry candour, when all I craved was a peep at thy coriander. Aloo and peas, thy secret is spilled, but your dignity holds as my lust is fulfilled. Can any other snack ever hope to match thee, when not one of them has any point, and you have three?
Oh, lovely. Sanjeev Kohli. Sanjeev Kohli has left the building. How good was he?
Brilliant.
A good lad.
Yeah.
Would you like to get into acting one day?
Yeah, I mean, I used to, well, I was with the Ramshaw Theatre group for a while before I got into comedy, and I was in a play there, but then
Right.
I had to give it up because obviously I had my little girl and stuff, so.
Did you have to do things like, you talking to me? You talking to me?
Funnily enough, I never realised how difficult, the process into acting, as in you had to go to accent classes and everything, and rehearsing every night. I had a small part, rehearsing every night of the week. That's why I thought comedy is about doing your own time, do it at home, but acting is tough.
I tried to do a bit of comedy. Don't ask me why, it's a long story, but I tried to do a bit of comedy about 2-3 years back, and I think I was just, I was trying to test myself at a moment of sort of low points in my life where I thought I'd try to do something outside the box, and I loved it. I loved the fact that I was really bad at it. You could argue I'm probably bad at this, but when you do stuff that you're bad at, and you try and be good at something that you're bad at, what camera am I looking at? That one. Hello, hi mum. You end up becoming better at the things you're good at. That makes sense. You try something difficult out with your normal, like go and do something like fishing, or like do a bit of stand-up at the Fringe, which is very, very difficult actually. Because I've always said if you try and do a bit of speaking in front of 8 or 9 people in a small room, then it's a lot harder than actually speaking in front of 1,000 people. Is there logic to that? Have I lost you, Kavita?
No.
Are you falling asleep? What do you think?
I get where you're coming from. At least if it's 500 people, there's going to be more of a chance, a percentage of folk that are going to laugh at your jokes, rather than 4 or 5. But no, there's actually a new night that I'll be doing at the Panopticon, the oldest music hall.
Yes.
It's the oldest music hall in the world, and really they're trying to raise funds for the upkeep of the building. Like they've got no heating at the moment, and that's the next thing. So I said I'd help out because I love the place.
But the Panopticon, so when is that every
month, starting on May the 11th. Different acts. It's kind of comedy, but other acts as well. Like last time they had a drag. They do other nights. Every night they're trying to do something to raise funds for the place. And
ladies and gentlemen, I mean, if you can support what Kavita's doing, we're gonna have some sheer comedy here. My wife is actually at the. My wife is doing the. Is it H4F? What's it called, Claire? Sorry. Help for the Homeless, sorry. Help for the Homeless. My wife's out just like cooking. She does it she goes on Thursday night, and they go to a little place in town, and they feed the homeless. People can go there, and it's unconditional. You can get what you want. So, well done, sweetheart. I know you're doing a good job out there. Also, a big thanks to Salesh, my friend Rocky. Salesh, all the way from London. When you come to Glasgow, my man, you've been threatening it. If there's anybody shout outs, let us know at the end of the show. But I've had a great show today. I'm just even we'll have my cousin on and talking about Prince, who I dearly love. And we're going to have we've decided that the next show is going to be sort of a loose women. My wife and her friends are going to come on next time, and they want to attempt to do a little loose women thing. So I'm quite looking forward to that, because I plan to sit in the middle and leave halfway through the show and let's just get on with it. So girls, get yourself ready. Laura, Shabina, Jiggy, just go a bit mental on the show. You up for that?
Yeah, I'm up
you up for that?
Yeah.
So we're going to have
that you want us to
get topics in. What topics you want to discuss with crazy women? Things like
I don't know, girls that go.
Men are too dirty and don't clean up after themselves at the toilet. Is that a problem for you?
Not really, no.
Right, Alan, good at cleaning up after himself.
Yeah. Shout out to Alan as well.
Yeah, Alan, we love you, Alan. We're now going to do, we're going to see Dave Rajkumar, my very good friend. I'm really sorry, Dave. I was a little bit under pressure due to technical faults at the beginning of the show, so I was losing everybody's name. I didn't even know my name at the time. So we're now going to finish off. I hope we're going to finish this off properly. We're going to finish off the butter chicken in Toronto, Canada, and his place is called Lock and Key in Toronto. So my best mate Rakesh is in Toronto as we speak. Rakesh, go to the Lock and Key, introduce yourself to Dave, who's like the sexiest celebrity, and not just that, he's not just a good looking guy, but he's an extraordinary chef. So let's finish off our butter chicken.
Into the bowl that was cooking in the oven. Fantastic. This is smelling outrageous right now. I'm gonna let the chicken get to know the sauce, maybe the sauce get to know the chicken. Hopefully they're gonna fall in love and make butter chicken babies. Go in for a taste. fantastic. It needs a little bit more salt, but my mouth, there's a party going on in my mouth with all those different spices and flavors that we added. This dish is guaranteed to impress anybody. I don't care who it is. I'm gonna let this sit for a few minutes while I get my rice prepped, and we're gonna get right into plating. Super exciting time. I'm bringing over the dish that'll impress just about anybody. So I'm gonna carefully put some into my bowl for serving. Remember, the last step with impressing people is all presentation. Who says you can't please everyone? With this homemade from scratch butter chicken, you will knock the socks off anyone you cook it for. All it's missing is a nice bowl of rice, and there you have it. This is a sure shot way to impress the hell out of just about anybody. I can't wait, I gotta dig in, I gotta give it a try. So here we go. This is exciting, I don't even know if I'm ready. It tastes like India. Who cares if you impress anybody at the end of the day? You're guaranteed to impress yourself. Here it is, guys. My butter chicken from scratch, the simpler version, guaranteed to impress the hell out of anybody you serve it to. Hey guys, if you enjoyed this video, please sub me. Oh, I'll try again. Hey guys, if you enjoyed this video, please sub me. Also, if you have someone you want to impress, write it in the comments and I'll kick out the video.
Do you know if I was gay, I would kiss him. I would snog him. If I was gay.
Set him up with
While he was having a butter chicken. Disgusting thought, but what do you think of that? Butter chicken.
Well, the butter chicken's delicious, yeah.
Yeah. Dave, all the girls, well not Kavita because she's got a lovely man, but all the girls here fancies. Am I right, Claire?
Yeah.
Yes, look, another topic we're going to speak about today, right, is cannabis oil. So, what do you think of cannabis? Have you done a bit of spliff?
I haven't actually.
Never?
No.
You've never done spliff?
No.
What's going on? You know, I would admit to things like that, but the problem is that my mum watches the show and tells me off every week. And then she watches Facebook posts and says, because I was drunk, I wasn't drunk, I had a few drinks, I went to rehearse down south with a sitar player. And for my band, the Bangor Beatles. And we have lots of gigs. We're very busy. We were in STV last week. I'll be playing that to you next week. I went down to London to try out a sitar player who was fantastic, called Jonathan. And the boys from Bombay Talkie came along, Bindi, Ken, Kamal, and another friend, Tofaya. And Bhupinder came along as a violin player. And we ended up going to a restaurant and having a bite to eat and doing karaoke. And because I started dancing and slapping Bindapal's bum in a sexual manner, my mum told me off. And you know something? I'm middle-aged now. My mum, I love you telling me off, Mum. Because the more you tell me off, number one, the more I want to do it, and the better publicity I get out of it, Mum. You're a great advert for me. Right, cannabis. Have you never done a bit of spliff?
I haven't, no.
Okay. Can you say that with a straight face?
Yep.
Okay. So I've never done a bit of spliff either. My friends have. Lots of my friends have done spliff. No, I did inhale once. And it didn't really do much for me. So, cannabis, does it cure things?
Well, I've been reading a lot about it, and I think, with cannabis, they should legalise it. I don't see the big problem why, there's big issues surrounding it, so.
And what's the story about cannabis oil being for medicinal use?
Just about this boy that kept getting seizures, 27 a day, but once he started taking cannabis oil.
So this kid was having 27 seizures a day, and he took some cannabis oil, and did it stop the seizures?
I think it almost stopped them, and also folk that say they've got 6 weeks to live or whatever. You hear stories in the news and everything, and all over the internet. And sometimes I think, do I believe them? But yeah, if they're, and they say that once they've started taking cannabis oil, after they're still alive, like years later, it's basically I'm not saying a full cure, but it helps.
Well, God forbid if I ever get told that I've only got like 6 weeks to live, I'm just going to do the ganja, man.
So I don't understand why they're not legalising it as well.
Yeah.
Not just for that reason. I think it was regulated. You could bring more money in taxes.
Well, there's got to be scientific evidence for that sort of stuff, isn't there? We've also got a young kid who, Aaron Hunt, has been in the news today, and Aaron actually found out he had an incurable disease. So his parents are devastated to say that this was a real problem for them in the sense that they really didn't know what to do, but they wanted to cheer him up. So what they did was they asked a celebrity to step in for awareness, and Aaron was diagnosed with something called ROHAD, which is rapid onset obesity with hypothalamic dysfunction. And he had hyperventilation, autonomic dysregulation. That sounds awful. Because only 1 in 70 million kids are diagnosed with this disease, it was tough. But what he did was he actually posted a video on Twitter, and this is the power of social media. He asked to meet the real Iron Man, and guess what happened? His tweet went viral, and actually Robert Downey Jr. went out and met him. No, not met him, sorry, tweeted something back to him. I thought he actually went to his house, but he wouldn't go all the way to...
He did go to
Did he go to his house? Did he go to his house?
He did meet him.
He actually went to his house, sorry, am I reading this wrong?
Yep,
Right, so what happened when he went to his house then?
Well, he actually met him and said, you know what, I support you, and highlighting the disease, I suppose.
Well done, Robert Downey Jr. God bless you. God bless you. Thank you very much. I love Iron Man. I love Iron Man. Do you like any superheroes?
Yeah, I like Judge Dredd.
Judge Dredd. Oh my God. Right, have we got any more videos, no? Are we out of videos? Well, listen, I think I've had a great show today. What do you think? Kavita, have you had a good time?
Yeah.
So, are you any more gigs? So, when are you going to be playing next?
The next one's a Panopticon. That's the 11th of May.
The Panopticon.
Panopticon, yeah. But I'll be going to a few gigs. There's one that's on that's quite a good, one of my favourite gigs actually. It's Queer Theory.
Right.
It's on at Nice and Sleazy's once a month, and I think it's really well run.
Right.
And it's her second birthday, the 18th of
Yeah.
April. So that's
Right.
good.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much. Sorry about the technical issue at the beginning. I've no idea what happened at the beginning, but I will watch it when I get home. And I'm sitting there with my cup of tea, my chapati and my paratha. But we've had a great time too. I want to thank Sanjeev. He's gone off. God bless him. He came to the show today, and how interesting was that? He was stalking Prince. I thought it was a fascinating story.
Yeah.
I want to thank Kavita.
The fact that he was allowed in, I think nowadays security.
They went to the
would be a
car
lot
park. They actually
tougher,
sat in
yeah.
the car park
I thought, God.
and hounded him. But we've had a great time. So listen, everyone, God bless, stay safe, and love and peace to the world. Thank you. Good night.